Hey, it's Thursdays with Franco where we talk capabilities, projects, and emerging trends. Hey, Chris, how are you?
Good, thanks, Franco. Looking forward to hearing from Keith about healthcare.
That's it. Today we've got healthcare live
Wait,
transcription, I think.
what?
But
No, no,
Yep.
no.
but
I,
Jason,
I
what are you
actually,
doing here?
I actually sent Stuart into town because I said that Max Verstappen's here. So yeah, he's gone off into town to look for Max, so I can hijack the session because I wasn't happy with how I overran last time with all the questions that Chris asked me. So
So, so what are you covering instead today, Jason?
well, I had so much fun last time showing off HeatWave that I'm going to give it another crack and dive a little bit deeper. 9.4, I think I mentioned last time, brought out some capabilities around LLMs, natural language to SQL, natural language to machine learning, and um, got a bit of a showcase around those two topics today.
And Keith, you're going to stay with us and ask a few questions as well.
Absolutely. I'm curious about this topic because I love the Oracle database and I need to learn HeatWave.
Okay, so Jason, over to you. And I think I'm going to expect a few goes at the Oracle database from you.
Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not going to do too much trash talking. So, but here we go. So, here's my instance, right? So we've upgraded the to version 9.5 that dropped this week. There's a few innovations on that. We'll cover them off at the end. But let's go with actually this. The other thing I learned was to pre-zoom my screen so Franco could see it all. Um, so here we are, right? So I'm going to take it a bit different today. I've actually pre-run all these scripts because I'm going to fit in the 5 to 10 minute window that Franco's given me and not run over. So what I've got here is a food delivery database, and it's got all sorts of things like customers and delivery drivers and food orders. And I've taken that database and I've loaded that into HeatWave so that we can do those fast queries. It's all in memory accelerated. And the first feature I'm showing today is that natural language to SQL. So I can simply type in \NL, ask a question, and the LLMs run away, created a SQL query for me, and come back with the top 10 or the bottom 10, I suppose, slowest orders by a bit contradictory in my question, but yeah, the 10 slowest orders and calculated by delivery minutes.
So let me
Um,
get this right.
Your pizza's going to be pretty cold.
We're
it's
actually
going to be very cold.
we're we're interacting in VS Code, talking to a MySQL HeatWave database that's got a language model connected to it. And instead of typing an SQL query, you're just saying, give me the top 10 slowest orders by delivery minutes. We see the order number and we're seeing there's a number of orders that are taking 69 minutes to be delivered. Is that right?
That's correct. I, there's a lot of 69s here. It is all synthetic data, so but yeah, that's dead correct. They're dead right. I've just asked it a question. It's LLM has gone off and figured out which tables it needs to look at. Um, you know, the whole SQL query and come back with an answer.
Cool.
I've done a similar query here. You know, what is the worst time of the day to be ordering pizzas? And apparently that's at 7 p.m. at night. That's when Chris and all of
I
his
can,
friends order
yeah, I
pizzas.
can, I can confirm.
So
And
if you want a warm pizza, don't order at 7 p.m.
And the point
Maybe.
you're what I'm picking up here is like I'm looking there on the left, you've got tables like delivery drivers, menu categories, restaurant. Like there's about 15 to 20 odd tables. And
Mm,
normally an old guy like me would have to spend a fair bit of time getting to know that data model. And I probably wouldn't get it right. Whereas you're just saying top 10 slowest orders and this thing works it out.
straight away. Yep. Yep. It's come back and given that to me in about under 300 milliseconds.
Right.
Okay.
So pretty cool.
Yeah,
Pretty
another
cool.
old bloke here. How does it know what to look for? Is it based on the names? Is it based on other things?
So another trick, I've actually gone in and given all the columns in these tables, and I was going to talk about that in the natural language
Okay.
to ML, but I've given all the columns a description. So when it picks up a package of tables and columns, that LLM is actually knowing what to do with what's in those tables and columns, so it can figure it all out.
So this works the same as an Oracle database in that when you configure this thing, it gets the metadata for the tables and the
Correct.
large language models knows that stuff. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. And I note from the AI world last week, there was I suppose an emphasis put on annotating your tables and columns to enable large language models to interact with them better. So it's a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah. It was one of my learnings this week. It was a hard learning, but it was definitely a learning. Yeah. So I think I might have missed that takeaway at the keynote. So moving on to machine learning or natural language to machine learning, right? Similarly, okay, like just as I'm not a database or DBA and knowing how to write these SQL queries, I'm not a data scientist, all right? But I want to create a query to predict how long it takes to deliver food. So I asked the model, you know, natural language to ML, give me a training to predict how long it takes to deliver food. And it goes out and spits out this answer here. But before I kind of, go to my right-hand side of the screen and look at it cleanly, I'm curious, what LLMs do I have access to in HeatWave? So these top 8 all built-in LLMs, Llama and Mistral and stuff, they're all built into HeatWave. And if I'm not quite happy with those and I want to go off and use something like Grok or a different version of Mistral or Llama, I can actually call on the GenAI service to do these these queries. And the mileage varies between, another learning this week, the mileage varies between which LLM you're using. Right, I'll ask it in, that first question I asked was in Llama. I'm trying to select Llama, but it's, you can see the model ID at the top of this top here. It answered in Llama. All right. Not quite happy with Llama. I want to change my model to Grok 4. And even Grok 4 versus Grok 4 fast reasoning gave me different results. Found Grok 4 was a lot less chatty. It just gave me the answer. It didn't explain why it came to that answer than the fast reasoning model. So, yeah, I was pretty happy with Grok 4 for fast reasoning. So I've gone back and asked the same question, training query to predict how long it deliver food, but this time I'm using the Grok 4 model. And on the right-hand side here it is. It says walking me through step by step a machine learning workflow. Right. So the first step is we need to do some data preparation, create a full table with a data set. It's handed off all that metadata again to what I was saying before, Chris. When I first started this and I didn't have all the correct descriptions on my columns, it came back with junk. As soon as I gave it a bit more context, it came back with something that was actually usable, right? A SQL query that ran. So, copy and paste, simply copy and paste. I've created a table in 24 seconds with 200,000 rows. Ooh.
That's cool. That's cool. And
yeah,
obviously, the more the thing which I'm picking up is, you're showing the choice of 20 plus language models, and it's more about prod and poke and try one versus the other, depending on what you're looking for. And maybe there's talking to Stuart Coggins, sometimes you use one for one element, another for another element. The other thing I'm picking up here as well, Jason, is you could probably cut and paste what you've done and then throw that into the language model and say, can you please document my experience here and what I've done to share it with other folks?
That's step two. That's exactly what I'm doing after this, is going to start documenting this so I can share it with other folks. So
Right.
you're ahead of the game there, Franco.
Right. I know I'm just an expert at being lazy. So
What I did find, we are playing with LLMs, right? And sharing, the dirty. It's like 95% correct, right? There were typos. We're like step two here. It says, you know, specify which columns we want to exclude from training. Put that into a JSON array. Cool. But it forgot to put the select in here, and it forgot to put in a couple of extra characters rather than a single quote. It's put in backslash double quote. A little things. I think there was a later it forgot it used the wrong case for the train. It used the capital train. But like very minor things, totally minor things, really easy to kind of go, oh, let's fix that.
Yeah.
So,
Could you use another LLM itself to cross-check what another one spat out, so that you say validate this code or something?
I mean, that's what I was doing, yeah.
Oh.
I haven't tried it inside HeatWave, but definitely.
I think that's a really good idea, Keith, though, is, because we've got this whole thing around responsible AI. And so to have, a few different places where we can do these checks.
So moving on, it's telling me how to split my data so that we've got a training set, a testing set. It's told me how to then train the model. So I've followed the bouncy ball, and then something like 2.5 minutes, 200,000 rows of trained a model. Another learning that I found this week is surprise, more compute equals faster results. There's
Who'd have
definitely
thought that? Okay.
definitely a marked improvement from one HeatWave node to 5 HeatWave nodes or anything in between. I suppose this is where cloud becomes super valuable, because I spin up 5 HeatWave nodes, train my model, drop it back to 1. Whatever I need to make the job happen.
Yeah.
Scalable cloud. So we've created some data. We've trained a model. My next question for the model is for the LLM is, how do I deploy this model? All right. So on the right hand side, it says basically, let's find your model, let's set that model, and let's load that model. Okay, bouncy ball. Yes. So I think here, one of those things that I said before, ML schema user 1. All right, I'm not user 1, I'm admin. So fix it. But not rocket science. We've found the model, we've set the model, we've loaded the model.
That's
Great.
cool.
Great. Let's predict a row. All right. How do I predict a row? So it's come out and said, run a predicted row, use some values. Right, we're in New York. We are ordering on the third day of the week at 3 o'clock in the afternoon from restaurant 221. And in about a second, it's given me a JSON file that I've cleaned up. 56.5 seconds, 56.5 minutes. Better than the 69 minutes, but still going to be a slow pizza. Still going to be a cold pizza.
So that would be something that, in a real world example, that you're for ordering a pizza online, it could tell you about how long the wait time is, yeah, for your pizza.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Based
Yep.
on historical data. It's amazing, isn't it? Like I've played a little bit with, doing machine learning and, using things like Jupyter. And like this is not my forte, and it's been very painful going through that process. But to have tooling that can, automate this, make it easier, is really good.
It's very much someone told your hand through the process, for sure.
Mm.
So that's my 10 minutes today, Franco.
And
You did it too.
He did. I was going to say, congratulations on probably being the shortest speaker